mean, I'm one of the very first Mongolian missionaries.
Oh,
and I told you in '92 I became a believer, but in '93 I was sent out as one of the first 2 Mongolian missionaries into world mission.
Okay.
So I was on Dulos ship
Yep.
with Operation Mobilization for 2 years, traveling around Africa and Asia and Europe. And since then, many Mongolians have been on Dulos ship. Also, Mongolians have been already sent in other countries as missionaries, into China, Russia. Today, we have a number of people in Russia and China because these are the neighboring countries. But we also have people in Afghanistan, or even people in Iran, and in America and other places as Mongolian missionaries. And so we are very much, it's maybe something to do with our blood, that we are this kind of outgoing people who want to do things and
Yes.
Can't stay in one place.
How would you describe the church in Mongolia?
Okay, as I told you, before 1990, Mongolia was a communist or socialist country with no Christian presence, no open witness of any gospel or Bible text or anything like that. So it was totally closed country, and even that includes Buddhism.
Right.
And so any form of religion was suppressed, and monasteries were demolished and everything because of communism.
Right.
So the Christian church started in the modern day time in 1990 or 91.
Yep.
So today the church is just about 20 years old. But I would define the Mongolian church as a young, growing, evangelistic, very mission-minded, energetic church. Young church, because firstly the whole population is very young. 70% of the population is under the age of 35. So the young people are, you can see everywhere, and that's also comes into the church. And most of the believers are young people or children, and also most of the leaders in the churches are young people, meaning that you can see leaders in the early 20s on, most of them. So then one day, one classmate told me, if you go to church, you can practice English, and you can find people to talk to and practice your English. So I went to church to learn English, or to find somebody to talk in English. Then, as soon as I came to church and started listening to the sermons, started answering my questions, the questions that I had about life, about the world, and everything else. So it was very much, immediately I was very touched by the message and the preaching, and so I started reading the New Testament from the Gospels and so on. And as I read more, I found more answers for my questions. And so because I was already searching for these answers, I was very open and immediately asked God, if God, you're real, if you are the one that I was seeking, if you are the one who gives me the purpose and meaning for my life, I want to follow you. Yeah, my dream is to complete the translation from the original languages into Mongolian, and one day have it available for readers and Christians and other people.
Right.
Yeah. And especially to go from the original languages, because the current translations are done mostly from English or secondary translation. And when you go from translation, you're always losing
absolutely
what was in the original language. And so actually in some places Mongolian culture might be much closer to the nomadic Hebrew Israelite culture than the Western,
absolutely,
or more settled culture, because the terminologies and things that the terms they use in the translation are very much determined by the culture.
Yeah.
And we might have the same number of, or the richness of the vocabulary as the Hebrew culture. Langham Langham Scholars Program is a program that supports PhD students or scholars from the developing countries in the majority of the world who will go back to their own countries and be able to make a significant and impactful contribution to the growth and maturity of the church. Langham program has been very supportive of us, and as I have a family and 3 children and 1 on the way.
Oh, wow.
And so, and we very much appreciate their support and their help and their pastoral care and their prayers and the updates they send to us. And,